A good leader knows when to follow.
That doesn't make them not a leader.
But it doesn't make them not a follower.
Most people are followers. Social media is just highlighting the amount of followers that's actually out there.
I be looking for collaborators. I'm not looking to lead you. I want us to make this
together.
Get together. You think I spent this hour on this couch talking about leadership, the qualities of leadership, what it takes to be a good leader, for me to be a follower?
You're squandering away your potential.
Get on my motherfucking face.
Please. Push the goddamn button. Action.
If you're not leading, are you following? I asked that because I was thinking about when I was little, I ain't want to lead nothing. I ain't want to be a follower either. I didn't think I was a follower, but I ain't want to be a line leader. I didn't want to lead the class, lead no praise and worship. I just wanted to play the back, live in an amazing life, and just mind my business. And I feel like it was like that because everybody who we saw lead, like everybody who was black that we saw lead, they got killed or their image and likeness was tarnished. So I don't know if that ending has anything to do with if you're not leading, are you following? But the question is, do y'all agree with if you're not leading, you're following?
You got something?
You can go first. You usually say that I take your answer, so go for it.
I was going to say, I think where my mind goes is like there's different types of leadership, right? So I don't know if I necessarily agree with if you're not leading, you're following. Just because I feel like there are some people who aren't leading and they aren't following. They're just there. Like, so I think that there's like a gray area in between where you might not be doing either one of those things. But going back to my original statement, I do think that there's different types of leadership that it's not always that you're leading and you're the face of whatever, or like you're leading and like you have to do everything. Like there's leaders that are leading from behind the scenes, or maybe they are one of the leaders in the situation, but they're not the face. Like I could even use I'm gonna use Poetry Club as an example because that's just what my mind is going to. But when Damani and I were in Poetry Club and we wound up on the e-board, there are certain things that I would set up, but I would be like, Sierra's the face, she's the president. So you go ahead and you lead out front. I'm gonna orchestrate everything in the background to make sure everything's running smoothly. But like, I think that there's different styles of leadership. Like there's different places and spaces to lead. There's different opportunities to lead, but I don't think that it always means that if you're not leading that you're following. I think it can mean that you're following. I think it also can mean that you're not doing anything. I think it's situational.
It's good. I see why you be wanting to go before me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say some of that. Somewhere in there was gonna be my answer. So new answer. There is a gray area. There is somewhere in between where I think, in my head, I'm imagining, you have somebody who's naturally a leader. You have somebody who's naturally I don't want to say naturally a follower, but who's leading and who's somebody who is following. But I also feel like there's somebody who's off doing their own thing. So they're not really leading anybody in particular, or maybe they're leading themselves to something, but they're operating just in a different area. And I don't know if that's helpful to a mission, but I think for me personally, I'd rather lead than follow. But I also know that there's been times where there's certain things that I don't want to lead the charge for. I just don't want to be. I don't want to be the PTA president. Granted, I'm not. I don't got no kids, but I don't really want to be that. But that doesn't mean you don't have influence on the leader. So I don't know. It's an interesting thought. I guess in general, if you're not leading, you're following. I guess I'll say I agree. I do think there's some X factors, some people who are doing other stuff who are just kind of in limbo or doing their own thing. But I think I generally agree with the statement.
Or I don't agree with the statement. It was just a thought that I had. But I don't agree with it just because, like I was saying, it is a gray area. You don't always have to. People be on their own thing.
Yeah.
But I do believe that if you stand for something, you'll end up leading. So you can't stand for something and not lead.
I don't know if I agree with that one. I feel like you can stand for something and not be the face of, like, be the leader in the scenario. Like, there's plenty of people who...
But I ain't say face, I just said lead.
Well, yeah, but I think if you think... My mind went to Martin Luther King. I have no idea why, but we're here. So I'm thinking of Martin Luther King. There were plenty of people who stood for something, but that didn't necessarily mean that they were leaders. They just stood for these principles. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you're a leader in that regard. You're just somebody who stands on business.
Yeah, they were a part of it, but they didn't necessarily lead the charge. It's like they participated.
But when I say leading, I'm not necessarily talking about like the face. So if you stand for something, you can have influence over certain people or people in your city. Like you can guide people and shift whatever because you stand for this. It's a lot more emotion, a lot more like you care about this. So I don't look at it as I'm following. You can follow in a sense, but it's just slippery slope.
Well, a good leader knows when to follow.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but that doesn't make them not a leader.
But it doesn't make them not a follower.
It's a square or rectangle.
But I'm just saying, like, good leaders know, like, how to use their resources. They know, like, okay, maybe this isn't my strong suit here, so I'll follow somebody in this area, but maybe I lead on this other area, or maybe I'm delegating, like, I delegated this task to you, so I'm going to follow you on this mission, this task, but I know that I'm still the leader. I think that in being an actual leader, like, you know the dynamics of leading, and it's not always to be the person that's leading this thing. Sometimes like, either I don't have the bandwidth to, or it might be good. I might need to take notes in this area. So I think that leadership, good leadership, let's talk about good leadership, is a nuanced thing, because you know that maybe I'm in the forefront, or maybe it's not I'm in the forefront. Maybe I lead the charge on a lot of things, but you recognize you have the wherewithal. That's what wherewithal.
Yeah, I love that word. It's one of my favorites.
To understand.
So they was finessing in English with that one. Wherewithal. What? Like, nonetheless. Whoo, fire. Go ahead, my bad. Sometimes English gets it wrong, but sometimes they get it right.
But they had the wherewithal to know that, or to understand that leadership doesn't always look how everybody thinks it's going to look.
So, I agree, but I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Or I guess I agree and I disagree. Because I'm going to just say it might be a question, it might be a statement. All right, good leaders know when to lead and when to follow, but they're still a leader. So I don't think just because you follow, that makes you a follower if you're already a leader.
So we need to define leaders and followers, because because a lot of people are natural born leaders, right? And even though they're natural born leaders, like, they still may be following suit on something, right? So what is a leader? Leader.
A leader is somebody who uses their thinking mind.
That was funny.
A follower is someone who doesn't use their thinking mind and just goes along with
whatever.
Yeah.
I don't think that's always true though. I think followers, so like you're okay, for the sake of this conversation, you're literally talking about people who like blindly follow.
Mm-hmm. I don't look at people as followers if like there's a reason or it was a choice. I mean, everything's a choice.
I was about to say that.
Look at that man. That man skating on thin ice.
Right.
So, oh, it's getting a little shaky. Go ahead.
I don't look at people as a follower if it's nuance, like y'all said.
Now it's nuance. All right,
The
go ahead.
wherewithal, nonetheless.
Man.
But yeah, you could be a leader and follow, but still be a leader and not be a follower. So leaders know when to follow, but they're not followers.
So leaders know when to follow, and followers
Okay.
don't know when to lead.
Hey, we could go with that.
Okay, I was about to change the whole thing.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, well, leaders think for themselves. Followers allow other people to think for them. Yeah.
Yo, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
You said they use their thinking mind.
Yeah, they use their thinking
Like-
mind, and then they follow the thinkers who think that
The
they
thought.
following.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff going on there. But I definitely agree with that part. I also know I agree with Shakora's point about knowing when you're gonna defer leadership. Like if you decide that this person is the person that I need to follow in this regard, in this field, don't undermine them, right? Actually follow this individual and allow them to lead you to the place that you said that you wanted to go. Because otherwise, why on earth am I following them? I didn't.
Yeah.
There's no reason. Otherwise, I should have just did it myself. Like, that's just me.
So this question is about to take us for a turn.
Sure.
But thinking in terms of like social media, like followers and stuff like that.
If you're about to go exactly where I was about to go, I'm going to laugh. Go ahead.
So I was just thinking about the concept of like people being leaders versus people being followers. Is social media like a construct to turn everybody into followers? Mentally.
I was thinking about social media, yeah, but I wasn't going there exactly, but I like where you at.
Like, not that, because so we have influencers, right? We talked about leaders have influence and stuff like that. But for the most part, in the concept of social media is like, oh, I'm going to follow this person. I'm going to follow this person. Like, to the point where, like, not that it's a bad thing, but like, do we not have as many leaders because everybody's already in the space of being followers, like, online?
You can go ahead.
Yeah. I wouldn't say we wouldn't have as many leaders. I think social media's goal is to create more leaders by giving everybody a stage to have an audience. So when you go online, you have an audience. Even if you don't feel like you have an audience, now you have an audience. So it's in my mind, it's intended to make everybody be a leader of their own set of people, but it may not always end up that way because a lot of people are just following just to passively follow or to allow other people to do the thinking for them, that kind of thing.
Wait, you had something.
Initially, social media was used to connect with people. Mm-hmm. Now, with the use of capitalism, it is more of a thing of getting as many people to follow certain people so they can sell something. Or, so what was the initial question? I think social media is used to make more people followers? I honestly feel like most people are followers. Social media is just highlighting the amount of followers that's actually out there.
Okay. I like both of your perspectives on it. I think where I was thinking was like, y'all did answer the question, but in my mind, I was like, is social media creating like a hive mindset? Like, of like people who are following something and thinking, I don't know, just following the thinking of other people rather than people formulating as much of their own thoughts as they used to. because
I was already doing it too.
so they use their thinking mind. But like social media is great, but I just be wondering sometimes because depending on what social media platform you're on, you might not be seeing like the whole of the story. I mean, most social media platforms, you're not seeing the whole of whatever story is being told. You're seeing what's being presented. So just wondering, is it creating a hive mindset? Even if the intention is to give everybody their own platform so that they could lead, or the intention is, like you said, to get people to like buy stuff and use it as a capitalistic tool, which is now. It wasn't always, but just like, is it creating some sort of like hive mindset where people get into the habit of following versus leading?
I was going to say, I feel like it's a thing of convenience. So if I see you post something and you say it's great, instead of me going to look and do my due diligence and see if I actually want this thing, how good is it? Do I have something better? Is this even the right thing for me? I'm gonna just go get it because Shakoya said to go get it. It's more convenient for me to follow your lead than it is
For you to think for
me to
yourself.
just do the work. Like, it's a lot quicker. Oh, she said, instead of being like, oh, she mentioned this. Let me look this up. I'm actually allergic to honey, so I didn't know it was honey in it. Now I'm breaking out. Now I'm saying Shakoya told me to buy this. And I said, no, this is Shakoya just said this is what I use.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a natural thing. We trust, when we find people we like, we trust their opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes we trust their opinion more than we trust our own opinion. And also, in going into your point, I think some of the time we're going, dang, hold on. What was the last thing you said? My brain just hit a...
I was talking about convenience. People do stuff for convenience.
Yeah. Oh, I remember now. I was going to say, sometimes, as opposed to me going and finding out whether or not this thing is going to work for me, it's like, there's more risk, there's more effort. If I just watch you use this and I like how it turned out for you, it must work for me. You seem similar to me. So it's a lot easier for us to do that as opposed to us going out there and taking the risk and then getting the reward from it. We could just let somebody else take all of the risk and then we just reap the reward. And I think that's how a lot of it has been set up. Also, I think when it comes to social media, in terms of it being a hive mind, I think we're naturally just community creatures. So the idea of having a tribe of people that all can like galvanize and think about the same things, it makes us feel better, even if it's something as small as a Jedi knitting or whatever it might be, right? It could be anything, but I think we just enjoy community. We like doing things together, and the thought of us doing stuff alone bothers us a lot. Mm-hmm. So I think social media, on the one hand, it gives us that feeling of group, or everything being a group project, but then you also have moments where during a group project, somebody got to step up and do something. Right. And so I think social media, its intention was to create connection, but it also kind of created a lot of people with an audience that don't know what to do with their audience almost.
Yeah, because it's opportunity and connection.
Yeah.
So it's like, at some point, it's like whatever I put out there, they're going to go get. So it's a lot of selling stuff and getting a commission off of it, or a lot of people promoting stuff that they never even used before, and they just selling it because now it's a quick little money grab.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
No, you was talking.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, and also because that you just reminded me of a point I was gonna make when you were like, when you stand for something, you end up being a leader. I think there's plenty of people who don't stand for nothing and still end up leading it, and that's why you end up getting people that they'll sell you. They just doing whatever to influence. Like, I'm really good at commanding people's attention. Bet. All right, cool. You buying this, and it's like you stand for nothing, but you still end up leading.
But I feel like it's like y'all was saying, nuances in leadership.
Of course.
Because you could be in the forefront and not be a leader.
That is true.
Yeah.
You
So
could be a figurehead. Yeah, that's good.
if we go back to the thinking mind,
Come on.
this is chess. It's not checkers.
Come on.
We not playing goldfish.
Come on.
It's Uno. The spades. We had the spades tape. You gotta think. Don't renege. You gotta think this through. Count the cards.
Proper preparation
prevents
poor performance. Come on.
Yes, Lord.
Why y'all looking at me?
Oh, I thought you was...
Yeah, I just thought she was gonna jump in and just add a little.
Oh no,
You know
I'm
what
sorry.
I'm saying? Zhuzh it up, you know what I'm
I
saying?
was enjoying what was happening. So
But another thing that I was gonna say, along the lines of the social media thing and
I know you
people.
about to say the source. The power! Go ahead, I'm sorry. Social media.
And the hive mindset. That's why it also be so easy for people to like just go along with stuff and then come back and be like, they scammed me. Because you didn't look at anything that they was talking about. You just said, they teaching me how to such and such. I'm gonna spend my last to learn. I'll be seeing mad videos about I agree with financial literacy and stuff, but I don't agree with you charging people thousands of dollars who are impoverished, or they already impoverished, so you charging them thousands of dollars to
learn how to make money.
But in order to actually manage your money and be a good steward of money, you need money first. So whatever you're teaching them, they're not going to be able to use because they don't have money, or they gave you the rest of their money. So now they back in this cycle of, I gotta work.
Yeah, that actually reminds me of a scene in Atlanta. I don't know sorry if I'm spoiling it, but when Ern was talking to Ern he was trying to make some money because he needed money for his rent, and it was Darius? Yeah, Darius. He went to Darius and he was like, Darius was like, hey, I can turn that money into more money for you. He's like, word, all right, cool. So long story less long, he ended up giving him the money, and then he ended up investing the money into a dog. Into a dog. He was like, all right, you'll get, so your money will get like doubled and tripled like in about 3 to 6 months. He's like, bro, I don't have 3 to 6 months. Like I need the money now. He was like, he was saying, I think he said poor people. He was like, poor people don't invest because we don't have the money to invest in. Like, what do we, like, if I had the money to invest, I would have invested it already. And it's like, when it comes to people charging for the financial literacy, it's like, I have 300. Cool, that's exactly how much you need to learn this information. I give you the 300. Now I have 0, but I have the knowledge. So now I have to go back out and find a way to get the 300. So it's like, it's almost a catch-22. It's like, you need to know how to make the money, but you also need to have the money to make more money. So it's it's interesting.
I think with that, it's like that's why it's important to also find the right people. Like when you're learning stuff, getting your knowledge for things, because a lot of people that really do this, they give out a lot of information for free, and then like it might take long for you to get all the information. The course or whatever might be the shortcut to get the information, but they still like are providing it to you. It just then you got to piece it all together. So it might be a semester long course of you finding out this financial literacy versus, I can condense this for you in 2 hours. So like, I understand some of the concepts, but if you find the right people, also they might have sales, or they might have discounts, or it might be a tiered system where this is the basics class that's only $20 that you could do, but also not making those financial decisions to use your last when you don't got nothing else coming in. But I do understand the risk in that, like being like, I would rather just risk this now and it come back to me tenfold versus me holding on to it and not doing nothing with it. So I feel like, what?
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I feel like it's a catch-22, like you were saying, because it's like, I want to invest, I want to grow this thing, but also like I might have just lost my job, and like this I need the last of this money to pay for groceries. But if I don't eat this week, then maybe I could, So just figuring out what resources you got, because you could also just go to the library and maybe don't go the convenient route, but you go to like, let me sit down and actually read a book, or watch a movie, or use the computer there, or something. Like, just figure out what your resources are.
I was gonna say, to that point, to all of those points, the shortcut is cool, but the journey allows you to become the person that you need to be in order to sustain whatever it is that you working toward. Because one, you taking the time to learn something, it's like you're going to meet different people, you're going to come across different information, and it's just a lot. Like, you have to be the person before. Like, you can have all the knowledge in the world, but if you don't even have the courage to apply this knowledge, or the confidence that you need to apply whatever, and that's probably for confirmation. Like, yeah, just like you baking. You're not about to make no dumplings without baking powder. Well, you can.
That's why I need to
But it
add
ain't gonna
to
be
it.
no dumplings.
They not. They're gonna be pancakes.
Yeah. Did you have more? I had a question. My question was gonna be, in the times that you guys didn't feel like you were being a leader, what was the reason? I know for me, I didn't always want to lead because it either seemed like it was going to be way more of a hassle to do it, or it would be like, I don't care about this thing that much. So for you guys, during the times that you didn't lead, why do you think you didn't feel like leading or didn't want to lead?
I ain't feel like my voice mattered, and I didn't look at myself as the leader. Like leading other people.
Yeah.
Lead myself.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
But like leading other people, I ain't think my voice mattered that much.
For me, I think in a lot of situations, or some situations, I didn't feel like I was qualified. Like, I felt like I needed to prove that I had whatever I felt like would make me feel qualified to lead in that position or situation. Or same thing with like, you're feeling like your voice didn't really matter, but like, I think in a lot of situations I just didn't feel qualified, or I didn't feel like I earned the right to lead in this space.
I definitely felt both of those things. When y'all were talking, it made me think of another one. I had felt I'm always approaching everybody like we're on the same level, like mentally, and so when it comes time to lead stuff, it's like, well, who am I to lead? I want you to make your own decision. And so even when it comes to me trying to make a decision for a group of people, it's like, well, I don't want to make it, like, I want everybody to have a say, because I would want to have a say. I don't want people to make the decision for me. So I think a lot of that stopped me from stepping up and being more of a leader in certain areas, because I'm thinking like, all right, now I want you to have a say, I don't want to, because worst thing in my head is to think that I'm going to lead you astray because I didn't ask what you wanted to do. So I'm like, all right, let's get everybody together and then we can do it. But I think that's in some scenarios that stopped me from wanting to lead. And it also made me think about, is it just leader follower, or is it leader follower and like collaboration? Like, is that the middle area?
I feel like leaders can collaborate, but I feel like leaders also need followers, because like y'all was saying earlier about the delegation thing. So you could be amazing at this thing, but you just don't know, like, you didn't give yourself an assignment. So you need somebody to give you the assignment so you can excel at whatever. And I feel like leaders, or great leaders, create other great leaders. So it could be a thing of, now you're going to be a leader in your own right, or I'm doing what I'm doing, and since you're following me, my leadership or how I move, how I operate is rubbing off on you. So now you're getting a better understanding on how you can take what you learn from me and use it for yourself. I feel like great leaders bring out the leadership in others.
I agree.
That's not where I was going initially, but
Mm-hmm.
my train of thought.
That's cool. We'll come back to you.
I was just gonna say, maybe it's not leaders, followers, and collaborators, but it might be leaders, followers, and like individualists. Because there are some people who are like, they might be like leaders in their own right, but they have no interest of leading. So I think that I do agree with what you were saying, like that leaders, a lot of times they're able to help to bring out leaders, like better leaders, or inspire people to lead and different things like that. I think that what you were saying kind of sounds like there's levels to leadership, right? Because like leadership is not always I'm the head of everything. It's you can be a leader in your own right or in your own space. But I think as far as the idea of like, is it just these two things in the world or is it more? I think that it's literally, I would say leaders, followers, and individualists. Like they might, and I don't even know if that's the right term, because in my head I'm like, what does individualist even mean? What I think it means is an individual who focuses on being the individual. But they might be like a great leader, but they're like, I can do this thing. Because I mean, I feel like I've gone through phases of that, of like, I can do this thing for me, but I don't want to lead a whole group of people to understand how to do that.
But I still think that makes them a leader. Like, they still are a leader.
But like, it does being a leader mean that you have people following you? Like, do you have to have followers to be a leader? No.
It's in your demonstration.
It is. Yeah, that's good.
I didn't know how to respond after you said that, because you said it in your Nipsey voice.
Demonstration.
Anything I could have thought of to say after you were about to, it flew right out the window. But okay, so it's in your demonstration. It's how you show up in the world.
I agree.
And I feel like you gonna attract people. Like, if you're leading, even if you're not looking to lead, if you're doing something to the best of your ability and you're actually good at it, and you hold yourself to a certain standard, you have a moral code, a moral compass, people are gonna follow you because it's like, I like that. They're doing something. And now other leaders, like leaders who are leading groups, they gonna be like, I want to work with them. Like, they like Walking Dead.
Rick
Morgan.
Grimes.
I was talking about Morgan.
Oh.
They needed Morgan.
Yeah,
Morgan
but
was an
he's
individualist.
he's definitely is. Yeah,
but
that's
he
a great
was a leader.
example. Great example.
And it's like, we good. You do your thing, but when I need you, please
show up.
Yeah. I mean, I think Daryl was also a big part of that too, being able to be separate from the group, and still, but even still, like Daryl was a leader, but he wasn't the leader of the group.
He didn't know how much of a leader he actually was.
Yeah.
So he just wanted to play the back. That's what I was saying in the introduction. I just wanted to play the back, get a little money, enjoy my life. Just chill. I don't want to lead y'all. I don't want nothing to do with what y'all got going on. I'm gonna do my own thing. But as he was around leaders, now it's like, I'm the only person that could get this done. I'm literally, y'all need me, and now I love y'all, so I'm gonna do what I need to do. And now people gravitating to him and like, oh, I like him. I want to,
yeah. It's funny because it reminds me of the idea. It's from like the Japanese idea of being a ronin, like being pretty much is like being a samurai without a master kind of thing. Like somebody who's doing their own thing. Like I think the most famous one is, his name is, I'm gonna butcher his name, but I think it's Musashi Miyamoto, where he was like, pretty much he was on his own solo quest. He was playing life like a solo game, and he was just doing stuff by himself. He was trying to master himself, but people ended up following him because they saw the teachings that he was doing and the things that he was practicing, and they were like, I really like what you're doing. Can you explain to me what you're doing that's working for you, because I want it to work for me?
That's how I want to live my life.
And that's
I just be wanting to create, like paint, make my music, get dressed, look good, like do the things for me. But the world said you got to teach people, or you got to make money from this. The money gonna come because money is energy. That's a different topic. But
we'll
like,
make that episode.
I don't be wanting to teach nobody nothing. Like if you ask me, I'll tell you. I'll let you know what worked for me, how I did this. But I don't want to teach.
Yeah, that was the same thing that I had. That's why I said when I learned about that concept of being a Ronin, I was like, that I resonate with it, because my direction has always been internal. So my direction has never been thinking about the group and what direction the group can go. It's always been, this is where I feel I'm going, and this is where I'm going to go. If you want to come through, that's fire. I would love some company. But if y'all don't, I'm still going in the direction that I'm going in. And so it's been that for me.
I was about to say, I care a lot too. So in my mind, I'm seeing picture an action movie. It's a lot of fire and brimstone. Ain't that what y'all say? Fire and brimstone, and the garage gate is going down. I run and slide under, but now the people that I'm leading, they get left behind, and I'm like, man, now I gotta go save them.
Why ain't y'all slide when I slid? Supposed to go off the hips, underneath. Come on. Then we all learned this back in the day. What was y'all doing in the jungle gym? That's what we prepared for in 2000. My bad. Go ahead.
But yeah, it'd be stuff like that. Like, man, like this nigga. Like, it'd be stuff like that, and I'd be like, come on now.
Yeah.
I could have been long gone.
So I gotta come back to save y'all.
Yeah, now they get a sequel.
I don't know. I think I've always thought about the group. I think that's always been, I feel like that's how I was trained.
Trained by the sensei.
Like, I think about like the betterment of the group. And honestly, that's something that I admire about y'all, and I'm learning about y'all, is to learn how to like be a Ronin?
Yeah.
To be a Ronin and just like think about, okay, well, what does it look like just making this decision just for me, not making the decision based off the group? Because I know based off the group, I can make a decision like that. But when it's just me, it's like, oh, I don't have to think about nobody else's feelings, nobody else's allergies, their schedules, their like, and then just going back to like, okay, so what do I want? Like, because I'm used to teaching unintentionally. And I think that's something that was, I will say, spoken over me a lot to teach people.
Still spoken over you.
It's still spoken over me a lot. And now I'm realizing, like, I would like to be a Ronin. Like, I would like to, like, not feel like I have a responsibility to teach somebody something. But, like, if you ask me, like y'all said, if you want to know and you ask me what I'm doing, I'll tell you. I don't have no issue with that. Like, I can show you, but I need you to keep up with me. I don't want to keep backtracking because I have to go back and teach the class. Like, I need you to, when I move, you move. Like, like, I think.
I mean, even that is still technically follower leader.
Well, I know, but
move, you move. It's but that's when we move.
But that's if you want to know what I'm doing for me and why it's working for me, type of thing. Not me being like, oh, I learned this thing, I have to go back and teach them.
Yeah.
Like, not, and that's not even a bad thing. It's just like realizing like, oh, I put so many other people's lives, decisions, their everything about them ahead of my own. It's like, well, that's not the type of leader that I want to be.
Yeah. I was just going to say, to Shakoi's point, I care so much that if I think about, like, once I start thinking about the group, I'm not going to be able to stop thinking about the group. So, like, even when we went to Miami, and I'm asking y'all what y'all want to do. Y'all, it's your birthday. Whatever you want to do. And I'm like, nah, but y'all here with me. So I want to make sure everybody has a good time. Yeah, so and it'd be like stuff like that. Like now I can't get the group out of my head until we're not here anymore.
And imagine living your entire life like that.
Yeah, I had to retrain myself to like, what do I want? And if I have an inkling to thought about the group, I gotta push it to the side because the group stresses me out. Like, even if we just grocery store. Hey, what we only need cinnamon, right? And the next thing you know, like like a list of things. I'll be like, I got $10.
Y'all just did that to me.
I did it on purpose.
I know.
That's why I
That was
put the tasty cakes,
That was
oatmeal cream
hilarious.
pies, zebra cakes. We don't eat none of that stuff.
I
You knew it was a
know.
joke. I didn't want to put stuff like, we need some more kale, cauliflower. Blah. I didn't want you to be like, see it and be like, we need all that and actually get it.
Yeah.
But you had all the stuff that we needed mixed in between. So I was like, let me actually look to see. You are always so considerate of each other.
Yes. Unity,
Listen,
community.
Do our best.
And that's it. And when I was thinking about it, because you were actually going into one of the things I was thinking about was when I was asking the question about is it leader, follower, collaborator? Because like for me, a lot of the things that I be wanting to do, I be looking for collaborators. I'm not looking to lead you. I want us to make this
together.
get together. And so for me, in the same way, it's like when I start thinking about the group, I'm thinking like, all right, we can do all of this together. And then people be like, nah, you make that call. I'm like, but what happened to I thought we was doing this together. Like my brain just be like, nah, but this is what I feel. But I also know like you have an opinion, you have a point of view. So let me hear what your point of view is. So a lot of it has been like just around the idea of making sure that we can both be collaborators. 'Cause I like doing like things in collaboration. I don't really like, in most scenarios, I don't like having to lead because then it's like, if I lead you astray, now all you're going to say is you led me astray. And I'm like, why? Like, I didn't ask you to choose me. You chose me.
Right.
Don't blame me.
I only want to say naturally, I feel like when we see other people, we instantly feel like it's a weight lifted off our shoulders. Like, I don't have to do this alone. So then when we realize that I'm still doing this alone. Like if I'm leading, a lot of times I still feel alone. It's not a collaboration. It's me leading. So it'd be a lot easier for me to just do the thing and then come back and tell the people, hey,
yeah,
I got it. I killed my first deer. It wasn't everybody got to eat. I was just hungry. So brought back food for the family.
I think that this goes to when we were driving back from North Carolina, me and Damani were having this conversation about we were calling them mentees and mentors, like relationships and like the type of people that we typically encounter. Like what I determined is I encounter a lot of mentees and I've been looking for mentors, but I'm realizing that I'm already surrounded by mentors. And that's that collaboration aspect, the collaborative aspect of it, is that like y'all are also mentors. It's like an idea of like, I can learn from you just as much as you can learn from me. And it's not necessarily like, I feel like I have to lead you somewhere or I have to teach you something or like, it's not, I don't know. It's more of reciprocation.
Yeah, it's a two-way street. It's not a one-way street. Most of the mentor-mentee relationships, it's like you're coming to me for all of the wisdom, and I'm giving you all of the wisdom. And you on your end, if you're not getting it from that person, then you have to go somewhere else to get it. So I think for most of us, we're looking for, or when Misha Corp was talking about, we're looking for people who can equally be a mentor as well as a mentee. Because I'm not here to give you all of the wisdom in the world, and then anytime we have a conversation, it's only about
you looking
for something from me.
Get from me.
Yeah, it's never about us working in tandem. It's always, all right, I'm coming here because I need guidance from you, as opposed to being like, during the times where I need guidance. Where am I going to? Because then I'm definitely not going to you.
Right.
I feel like it's a thing. Well, it's a piggyback off what y'all saying. It's a thing of owning your space and being confident in what you do. So even if you're amongst mentors, it's still other people who can mentor you. or it's still other people who are way further ahead, but they aren't going to find you until you own your space. So, like how we was talking about earlier, the leader and the individualist. The individualist is only seen by the leader once they own their space and like, okay, this is what I do. This is who I am. This is how I'm moving. So now when I'm talking to the leader, I'm not talking to you looking for answers. We're problem solving, finding solutions. I'm giving you something, you giving me something, and then we're gonna come to a conclusion together. What we feel like works best, if that makes sense.
But I also think in general, it's a lot easier for collaboration to happen when everybody is doing their own thing independently.
Yes.
Because if I'm doing my job, we can even just stick to music. If I'm doing my job as a writer, it's very hard for me to let go of the reins and collaborate if I also have to do your job as the producer.
Or it's trust.
Yeah, it's a trust, yeah, and it builds a level of trust. And so, like, I think maybe now that I'm thinking about it, when everybody is doing their role and they're doing their role immaculately, you end up building the trust. But then when you make a suggestion, if you're the producer, when you make a suggestion about how I can deliver, I can take it and understand, like, all right, you're trying to push me somewhere sonically because you see something and this would work. This would work for you, but this would work for the greater of whatever the mission is. And the same thing on my end. If I'm like, hey, can you take this out? I need more space so that when I'm writing, I can say this here. And that is a lot better of a collaboration. To me, I like that a lot better than me thinking about me leading the entire way and coming up with the entire thing, because it's draining. Like, have to come up with every single step as opposed to, all right, this is what you're contributing. How can we use what you do in the greatness of the overall mission? If
I know how to do everything, but if today I only have to focus on writing, and I trust that whoever is engineering, they know exactly what they're doing. It's gonna be fire. Whoever else I'm working with, it's gonna be fire. So all I have to do is write. I'm able to give you a much better verse or story because all I'm focused on is writing. And then if the only other thing that I'm focused on is I gotta make sure this is good, because whatever they coming with is gonna be fire. So I feel like the people that you actually collaborate with, you should be inspired by and have a respect for what it is that they do. That's all I got.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I was gonna say, to be honest, I don't even know if it's like I gotta meet them. It's almost like it's like a freedom of distraction. It's really like you're doing this thing without having to ever think about what the person behind you is doing. So it's like they really have my six. So I really don't have to think about that at all. I can just be laser focused on this thing, and then the magic comes there because it's like now there's no other distraction, and I can just make the best thing here. And then when I turn around and I'm like, yo, this is what I got. Oh, that goes perfectly. I knew it was gonna go perfectly. So like now your creativity feels like a lot more limitless, because like now I'm not trying to think about building a house when I'm supposed to be thinking about building a chair. Like, just build the chair, and then we can have somebody else build the foundation. Like, somebody else is carrying the weight of the other parts, so you can just do your part.
That's good.
And we're going to get there once we actually do our part.
Yeah, which goes to being an individualist.
So do you have to be an individualist to be a leader, like to a certain extent?
I would think so. Yeah. I think you have to have a great self-image. Let's start there. Great concept, but a very strong concept of self and what you're able to do, and what your capacity and capabilities are. Because if you don't have a good idea of who you are as an individual, you get lost in the group. And if you don't have that, you lose yourself inside the group, and then so wherever the group goes, you go. And the group doesn't need that. The group needs every once in a while for somebody to be like, hey, this isn't working. Because if everybody is just going with the group, then we can end up led astray, run amok. You know what I'm saying? On Plymouth, never mind. But But literally, yeah, I think it just takes everybody to be an individual first, so that we can make this big thing together work.
Okay.
That's how it works in my mind.
What was the question?
Do you have to be an individualist to be a leader?
Yeah, I agree with the strong self-image, and I would say you have to have a vision. Like you got to know where you want to go. Like even if we go back to the Ronin example, um, the person's name that you use that I will not butcher, his goal or vision was to master himself. So regardless of what I'm doing, everything that I'm doing is leading me to
Self-master.
self-mastery, be a better version of me, be the best version of me. So that's my true north. So as long as I'm improving and getting better, we good. Once I feel like I'm stagnant or I'm moving backwards, this is not where I need to be. So I feel like a vision and a clear true north is imperative to being a leader or being an individualist. Once we have that, we won't get lost in the group.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. That reminds me of Daniel Priestley has said, as a leader, you're not going to be 100% accurate about where the direction is all the time. At the most, you'll be directionally best. So it's like, all right, I know we need to go right. Where are we going? I'm not 100% sure, but I know we're going right. And like being comfortable with being like a little bit in the dark because you're just going off of the feel of, going on vibes a little bit, just going off the feel of like where the direction is at.
Do y'all know y'all true north?
I feel like I do. Like career-wise or just like life?
I would say life. I feel like career will tie into life. So yeah, life.
I think that, and this kind of goes back to our mission, our main mission, side mission conversation. I think that my true north is music and creativity. Because even when I've tried to stray away from that, specifically music, or I've tried to be in the background, told myself I'm just going to be a songwriter, or maybe I'll just do the managing thing, and I always get pulled toward performing, or then I learn how to record and all that stuff. So I feel like I know my true north. I feel like the self-love and the self-care stuff is a part of me becoming my best self and becoming that individual, like getting that individuality and taking up my space. Because if I'm not thinking with me in mind, then I'm not even going to get to where I'm going.
Yeah. Similar thing, I think it's music and creativity for me. But I think one of the things I offer, and I said this before, but I think one of the things I offer is like a level of reflection. Like, I usually see things in other people that I see in me first. And so like, because I'm able to spot it, like one of the things that I spot, I feel like I spot things very early. I just didn't know what to do with the information now that I spotted this so early. So it would freak me out being like, hey, I saw that this is about to go wrong, but I saw it was about to go wrong like 2 weeks ahead of everybody else. So I'm just like, I'm in the back mulling it over like, damn, what do I like to do with the little, the mathematical equations? I'm like, damn. And then by the time the time comes, people be like, oh snap, there's something wrong. And I'm like, dang, I saw it. I ain't say nothing. And then it's like my brain, I would just get like really overwhelmed with it. So I think now I'm learning like the reason I'm able to see something is because I'm able to do something. So like if I see something, do something. And so I think that's probably part of my true north, being able to see things that people haven't seen yet. And if I do something ahead of time, even if I mess up, because that was another thing, I'm like, I saw it so far ahead of time, there's no way I should make the wrong decision. But if I see it ahead of time and I make the wrong decision, I have so much more time to make the right decision after. So just kind of like doing that. So I think that might be part of my true north somewhere. Still trying to figure it out. Like I said, directionally best. Direction. We going right.
I want to add something to my answer because his answer was so good. I will say though, I think something that is a part of my my true north is help.
Hold on, gather yourself, Queen. Adjust.
Is doing my part to bring out the best in people and situations. Like, to make the best of people and situations. Like, to help people to assist people in seeing, like, their best.
Greatness.
Yeah, their greatness, but also bringing out the greatness in whatever environment that I'm in. I think that is a part of just like what my true north is, and I think that it's just now clicking in my head. So like so when I go into places and I say I always leave the places better than I found them, I actually do that, and I see it and I recognize it and I appreciate it. But yeah,
that's good. I like it.
Well, what's your true north? Do you know yours?
I would say my true north. The 3 things that I would say are self-mastery, creative expression, and autonomy.
I like that you put those in one word boxes. Okay, go ahead.
So if you put them all together, that's where I'm headed. So, by mastering myself, I will be able to express myself creatively, as creatively and as freely as I possibly can, which will result in the autonomy that I'm looking for from life.
Is self-mastery everybody's true north?
I don't think so. Well, it probably should be, but I don't think everybody cares about being their best self.
But do you create your own true north, or is your true north just what it is?
I feel like you choose based off of you. I feel like we know where we're supposed to be going, which goes back to the directional. It's like I may veer off the path, but I know I'm still going. We still going right.
Yes, that's as long as you know where you're going.
When we talking about we start on Main Street, you might turn left on 2nd, then we turn right on West Main Street. But now we still in that same direction.
Yeah, and I think similar to with both of you guys, I think when it comes to mastery and just like bringing the best out of people, I had to make a decision for me that I only want to be around and meet people at the highest level that they have. I'd much rather not meet them anywhere else because I want to see the best of the best from everybody because that'll bring the best out of me. So I only want to meet you at the highest level you have. Otherwise, I'd much rather not be here.
And we got to show up as our best level, like our highest level, because I feel like people be feeling the same thing. Like, I don't want to see you acting like something that you're not, or trying to be this because I'm here. So I met a lot more people being happy breeze than trying to be cool. I met mad people being cool, but that wasn't my truest, authentic self. So if you see me, I'm happy. Even if I'm not smiling, I'm okay. I'm just not smiling.
Happy breeze.
Happy breeze instead of cool breeze.
She coined the phrase happy breeze.
Happy breeze.
On my one video, she was like, I love happy breeze. I was like, oh, I like that. Happy breeze.
Yes. Shout out to Erical.
Yo, happy breeze, y'all did old man breeze.
Old man breeze. Yeah, that one gonna be around forever.
Old soul.
Old soul breeze.
Sound like you about to sing a song.
I almost did.
But yeah, I definitely I feel that on a spiritual level. But I do also, when you saying you want to meet people at their highest, their best self, I would love that. Like, I would love that. Because there was a time, not a time, but a few weeks ago, I was thinking, like, maybe it was because of the people pleasing, or maybe it was because of like me feeling like I don't know, I do a lot of things, right? So I had to think like, am I just attracting projects? Cause I like projects.
That's good.
But like not I don't want people to be a project.
Project chick.
That's not the project. See, that's a different.
Chick.
That's a
That's
different kind of
not-
project. Ooh, that's
not-
a different kind of project, my boy.
I'm
We
really
need to
thinking.
fix her up.
Yeah.
But I don't want that. Like, but then I had to like really start thinking like, what energy am I giving off? But then even with the Burn After Writing book, it's helping me to see more of me and also how I've been showing up in the world. And it's like, oh, have you been showing up as Olivia Pope? Like, yeah, like here to just fix whatever needs to be fixed. Or have you been showing up as Shakoya? Like, have you been like who have you been showing up, or how have you been showing up in the world, in these spaces? Like, have you been showing up as if you have to prove something, and is your way of proving something building people up or whatever it is? But just like really assessing like, okay, am I showing up as the leader, like the leader that I am? And I think now I've been able to do that, but before, like I had to pause for a second and be like, hold
up.
wait, and just like really think about it. So even in like being like, I think that that's a part of my true north. I would love to meet people that are like their best selves or whatever. Like, I don't know what that that looks like, but I do know like you are what you attract.
Yeah.
Like, so it's also a thing of like, well, I'm on my way to be my highest self, my best self. Like, I'm still working on certain things. I'm still healing in certain ways. And I'm just now opening up to like who I truly am and allowing the world to see that. So then it's like, oh, well, I'm sure I'll start attracting that.
I was just going to say real quick, sorry to cut your wisdom. I would say we are our best selves in every moment. So in each moment, this is what I have to give. So I'm not looking at myself like I'm not my highest self already. But at this moment, this is what I have to give.
I think that in past moments, I wasn't giving all that I had to give. And that's why I wasn't being my best self. Because of those moments where I didn't feel qualified, or I didn't feel like, oh, I don't want to take the lead on it. I don't want to be noticed or whatever. I don't want to step on anybody's toes. That was a huge thing for me.
Not the pinky toe.
But like, that was a huge thing for me, is like, because I've been in spaces where I just come in and be myself, and somebody feels like I'm trying to kick them out or take their place or whatever. And it's like, I don't even want your spot. I was asked to be here. I'm doing this as a favor. I could go. Like, so there were moments where I wasn't giving all that I had to give. So I wasn't being my best self because I wasn't allowing myself to be myself.
Yeah. And I want to say, let me just clarify. When I say I want to meet people at their highest, it's not to say that I don't want to be around anybody that's not being their best self.
You beneath me.
Yeah.
We a high stepper. We high stepping.
Stand up. But it's like, I'm okay with meeting people where they're at. For me, it's a challenge for me to bring the best out of myself so that I can hopefully inspire somebody to bring the best out of them. So it's not like I only meet you when you're in a great space. Not everybody's always in a great space. Mm-hmm. So it's not that. But I don't want to meet you at a level where I know you can do a lot better. And like, I don't at the very least say something, or at the very least like do my best to inspire you to become better. I want to meet you at a place where like, all right, you're doing your best, I'm doing my best, and we're feeding off of that energy. Yeah. Like, not necessarily that I can't be around you until you're doing your best. It's like, nah, if you're aiming to do your best, then I'm with it. I'm with that as well. It's just I want us to all aim for higher.
And I think part of it for me, because I definitely agree with that, like, is like, I want to, I guess, meet you when you're aiming to do your best, or you're working, whatever. You're showing up as, like, with all you got, like you said, in that moment, because I don't want to feel responsible to have to like feel like I need to, cause I can see how good you, like what you can do, or you can do more than this. And I don't want to feel like I have to be responsible for showing you who you are, if that makes sense. Yeah. And I think that, but I think it's a different experience when it's like, maybe you're in the process of discovering who you are, your best self, or whatever, all that you have to give in that moment. And like you saying, like like we're playing off the energy of like, we're just here like growing, and we're just allowing ourselves to be great in this moment, like whatever that looks like for us. And I think that connection is different versus when you feel like, oh, but I see so much in you. Like, like I just want to, just like you're squandering away your potential, like that type of thing. Nobody else feels that?
To that point, I would say, I feel like that's when you try to change people. But that's a different conversation. And I was also going to say, to Damani's point, how I interpreted it was, I want to meet you as your authentic self. I don't want to meet the representative.
Okay. That is it. I
just wanted to make sure in case somebody else heard it and was thinking, I'm not saying I don't want to meet you at all.
We literally all at different points, but I may connect with you because I might see a version of me in you, and I know exactly how you feel or what I understand. I get it.
But I won't know until you show up as you and not who you think I want you to be. That is what it is. Like Erica said, you are never responsible for anyone. Sometimes seeing you at your highest self could motivate the person to move toward that higher space. And yes, I like that, because I think that removes the idea of being responsible for, because then it's like, all right, I gotta always show up as, okay, I'm gonna use this analogy. When we were last year, I had applied for a daycare. And I went to an interview. And first of all, I was on the fence because I'm like, do I want to take care of little kids right now? But when they said, oh, even if you're going through something, like you can't not be happy here. Like not saying like, oh, it's hard to not be happy here. They were saying, no, like you're not allowed to come in with a sad face. Like you have to come in with a smile and energy and all that stuff. And it's like, if you're constantly showing up in spaces with this fake smile that you feel like you have to have on, or that you think people want to see, or you're being told people have to see this, they can't see the sad stuff, then you're not showing up as you, because everybody has moments where it's like, you could be happy, you could be sad, you could be irritated, and like maybe you are a peaceful person. Like I'll be staying calm in certain situations, but a lot of times like I'm preserving my energy for other things. Like I don't have time to.
It's like I gotta slap.
I don't have time to expend this energy, but it's like, if you show up as you, then you can like, it's just a different experience, and you can meet the authentic version of the other person, or you can like, it's just different. I don't even know if I'm really explaining this in a good way, but like the experience of meeting the authentic person versus the representative is just like a powerful thing, because I can be inspired by you, or you can be inspired by me, not always because this is your highest self, because 9 times out of 10 ain't nobody reach that. We probably gonna be in heaven by the time we reach our highest self. Like, come on. But like, you're giving me the best of who you are now, even if that the best of who you are is somebody that's sitting here sad, but you showed up and you allowed me to be in this space with you.
Yeah, I think if I'm slowly circling back to the original point, I think for me, my job as a leader going forward is to literally put you in the best position for you to be your best self. That's it. Anything other than that, I'm not doing my job right as a leader. So like, I want to be able to put you in spaces where you can be your best self. And I think that's how you get the most authentic version.
Yeah.
I would say my job as a leader is to put myself in the best position. And then that'll allow me to help, assist people. One, I'll be able to inspire people to do more and be better for themselves, not for anybody else but themselves. And also, if I have an opportunity for people, I can actually put them in that position because people now my peers look different.
Yeah.
Or people, my peers is different. I have access to different rooms, different people because I allow myself to operate in this light, in this space as best as possible.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think
It's the same thing.
I was gonna say it's the same thing because I think in order for you to be able to put people in position to be their best selves, you have to be your best self. So it's the same exact thing.
Yeah. Erical said being responsible for someone else is a part of people pleasing. It's exhausting and people will always hold you to that standard. Yep. And that's why I'm like, you know what? This ain't the way I want to lead.
That's why I zip the lips and throw away the key.
But I think that, so going back to, because I never actually said what y'all said, like what was required as being a leader. Like one thing that I want to say, I think a huge part of actually leading people is having empathy and compassion. Because even if a lot of times if you don't empathize or have compassion for people's situations or circumstances, or it's sometimes hard to see the best in people, or to see whatever potential. I know last time we talked about potential being in your mind, but still like being able to see that or see a reflection of you in that person so that you can put them in a better, give them the opportunity to be in a better space, or for you to get yourself to a better position so that you can show up as your best self. Like you need to have compassion for yourself as well. So like, I think that that's something that's important to being a leader, and leading people or leading yourself to whatever water you're getting to, you know? So I think this has been a great discussion.
I think so as well.
I personally feel like we're all leaders on this couch. Do y'all feel like y'all are leaders?
Yeah. By nature, even if I don't want to be, it ends up being that way.
You think I spent this hour on this couch talking about leadership, the qualities of leadership, what it takes to be a good leader, for me to be a follower? Ooh.
You never know.
Ooh.
It could have been a representative.
Couldn't be me.
Right.
Couldn't be me.
Your self-image could have been different than what you've been talking about.
Nah. I had to raise my self-image. I had to imagine more for myself.
Word.
Couldn't do that no more.
Definitely imagine more for yourselves. That's all I'm going to say. Y'all got any final thoughts on being a leader versus being a follower or individualist or Ronin?
Nah, just be yourself.
Be yourself. That is literally the moral of this episode. Be yourself. Allow yourself to be your best in every situation, and take up your space. Take it up. That's it. But thank y'all for joining us for another episode of the Grae Area Podcast.
Grae.
Yes.
I'm Shakoya D.
Bad man breathing in ear.
It's your humble friend, Damani.
And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload. Ding. Also, comment below. Let us know, like, what are your thoughts on being a leader? Are you a leader or are you a follower? Like, drop it in the comments.
Say drop it like it's hot.
Drop it in the comments below, and also subscribe to the Patreon. If you subscribe, you can be a part of the conversation like Erical has been today. You can watch this podcast live and early because we do record this at least like a month and a half in advance. But also you'll be able to get other content.
Go ahead. Don't mind me.
You'll get access to other content that we have, and our tiers are starting to grow. So we thank you guys. We appreciate you. And we'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Adios.
Stay blessed. Stay black, people.
You say what?
Know yourself. Know your worth. Jukebox, hit me with another jam.
Get on my face. Get on my motherfucking face. Please.
Push the goddamn